Donald Trump is still facing not one, not two, not three, but four separate criminal trials. But so far, he's been very successful at delaying three of them to the point that none might begin before the November election. The one that seems likeliest to progress is Trump's New York criminal hush money case. But it faced its own hurdle last week when Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg agreed to delay the case until at least mid-April, after more than 170,000 documents were turned over to Trump's legal team by federal prosecutors. While Trump's lawyers are claiming that the failure to get these documents to them earlier should result in the court dismissing all the charges, or at a minimum giving them at least a 3-month delay. Bragg responded today that fewer than 300 of those documents have any relevance to the case, and that, quote, enough is enough. These tactics by defendant and defense counsel should be stopped. The judge could issue a new trial date at a hearing scheduled for Monday, which is when the trial was originally supposed to start. I'm joined now by David Ehrenberg, state attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida, my homie from Florida. Let's talk about this for a second, because it doesn't seem to me that 300 documents should delay the case. Do you think this is going to get dragged out any further?
No, I actually think Judge Merchan's going to schedule his trial.
Yeah.
After this 30-day window's over, it's going. And this shows you that judges matter.
Yes, it does.
The opposite is true in our neck of the woods, South Florida, where Judge Cannon has been slow walking the case. But here, Judge Merchan is not messing around. And Judge Chutkan isn't either, but she's being held back by the Supreme Court.
And as a matter of fact, Trump is actually, I'll just put this up, he filed a motion to try to delay this trial, the hush money trial. I don't know how he can try to work paying porn star Stormy Daniels $130,000 through his lawyer, how that could be part of his presidential act. But he's trying to now say this trial should get delayed, waiting for the presidential immunity.
Judge Merchan is on to him, because one of the ways that Donald Trump tried to delay this hush money case is to say, Judge Merchan, you should be bounced off the case because you're a biased judge. You ruled against me on the Weisselberg case. You shouldn't be here. So he's on to these games. And no, there's no presidential immunity for something that happened before you became president.
Right. Well, he's trying to say that he tweeted about it or he made comments about it while he was president, and so therefore his tweets, therefore he...
Right, he thought about it while he was president, and therefore complete immunity. It doesn't work like that.
I promise you it wasn't the other way around. Stormy Daniels was not thinking about him. Other than, I mean, there is a new documentary out in which she says she feared for her life. I mean, she's now talking, right? And so she's spoken to a documentary. She's going to testify, right? She, Michael Cohen, they will be on the stand. No?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, the defense lawyers tried to say, no, we can't put them on the stand. They're essentially too damaging of witnesses for us.
Well, okay.
Right?
That's not how it works.
That's not how any of this works, right? And then they said, well, Michael Cohen is a convicted liar. Well, let me tell you from a prosecutor standpoint. If we could only put on choir boys on the stand against criminals, then we would have no cases whatsoever.
Right.
And Michael Cohen has repented for his mistakes.
And he hasn't been wrong. I mean, every time I hear someone say this about Michael Cohen said Donald Trump lies about the valuation of his buildings. He turned out to be right. Michael Cohen said he would try not to leave office. He turned out to be right. He said he was a racist. He said he was a fascist. When has he been wrong? And by the way, Michael Cohen's other credential is that he worked for Donald Trump for a decade. Exactly. Who better to know him?
Exactly. And do you know why Michael Cohen lied under oath? He did so for Trump.
For Trump.
Right. So
he wrote the check for Trump. He said he got reimbursed by Trump.
Right.
Yeah, he's a relevant witness.
Yeah, so Trump's saying, no, you're a liar. He's a liar. Don't believe him. Yeah, he lied because you told him to lie.
He committed a crime for you.
Right. So that's why it's not going to work. This case is going to trial. I actually am convinced of it now. I think there is still a chance that the D.C. election interference case could go as well. Okay. Less likely, but because judges matter and Judge Chutkan wants that to go. But this one, Judge Merchan, prepare for a trial starting in April.
And how long of a trial might that be? It doesn't seem like it would be super lengthy.
It's not. No, it's pretty cut and dry.
It's simple?
Yeah, it's a simple trial, a lot of paperwork. So I think it could be done within a month, way before the election.
Yeah, and at least before the convention. The last thing I do want to ask too is about this other case, this Aileen Cannon situation, because you're up here from Florida. How are people in the legal profession parsing what she's doing? There's no legal basis for it, is there?
No, and, we're trying to give her some grace because we don't want to start bashing a federal judge for being corrupt. Sure. She's relatively new on the stand, on the bench. Yeah. But when the referee continues to give all the calls to your opponent, at some point you got to question the integrity of that referee. Now, look, she's new. She's in a courthouse by herself in Fort Pierce. Sure. She doesn't have any adult supervision there. Yeah. And so you can see why she keeps making mistakes here. Mm-hmm. But the mistakes always inure to the benefit of Donald Trump. That's
because if you're saying the jury instructions essentially must acquit him, why have a trial?
That was was so bizarre. She gave 2 potential jury instructions that you should engage with, which limits the availability of the 11th Circuit Court of Appeal to overturn this whole mess.
Right.
And so she seems to be like helping Donald Trump without going overboard to get reversed and repudiated like she was when it came to the special master by the 11th Circuit.
Yeah.
So
the better to get on the Supreme Court if he becomes president. I'm not making you say it. I'm going to say it myself. My last question to you: do you think it is likely, and to just go to one more case, because there is one other state trial that he can't throw out as president, Georgia. Does it happen before the election?
No. I think also the fact that this is going up on appeal now, whether Fani Willis can stay on the case, it is going to delay the case. You can't have a trial while this matter is going up on appeal.
Yeah.
But the good news is I didn't think this was ever going to go to trial before the election. So this whole mess with Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, it didn't really delay anything that wasn't already going to be delayed past the election.
Dave Aronberg, thank you very much. Always good to see you. All right.